Hi, welcome to your practice. I'm Laura. Thanks for joining me on Coon Craft Yoga and Design. This practice is for digestion and bloat. So if you are experiencing that uncomfortable feeling that I would say many of us do throughout our lives, or maybe you're indulging in the wonderful holiday foods, which why not? That's why one of the big reasons why we love the holidays, those special foods and the time that we have with our friends and family and that experience together. It makes it one complete amazing thing. So this sequence is full of lots of twists to help feel like we're massaging those insides and getting things to move and just to feel more comfortable in our bodies after maybe we've had some heavier meals than normal. We don't need any props for this practice, but as you can see, I do have a blanket here. I'm still recovering from a knee injury, and those can take months to improve on, which maybe you know from your own experience. So, of course, with this or any of my practices, make sure that you adjust and take anything that you need. Hit pause, grab blocks or a blanket to help yourself move more comfortably. Let's get started in a cross-legged seat. We'll just take a moment to settle in. Find just a nice even balance between the sit bones. Legs can be crossed or one shin right in front of the other. We'll just start by sitting up nice and tall. Feeling the crown of the head reach up towards the sky. Feel the root of that sacrum into the earth. Hands can rest on the top of the knees, palms down or face up, depending on how open you're feeling this morning. And if you'd like, you can bring the eyes to a close just to get started. We'll slowly start to move in our seat. We're going to start with some circles with the torso. So start to lean over towards the left and then feel the chest and everything draw towards the front. Draw a circle over to the right. And then as you come to the back, let's round the spine, pull the navel in, and then we'll keep that going in this clockwise direction. Just feel like you're grinding, using that torso just to make this big circular motion. Use your breath as you come forward, inhale. As you come to the back, rounding the back, let's exhale. And we'll take 2 more in this direction before we reverse it out. And once you come to the back on the exhale, this is where we'll start to reverse. So let's go counterclockwise, starting to the right, going forward, and then leaning to the left. Should feel like a really nice stretch into the spine. Just a nice way to wake up the body. Maybe you start to pick up the tempo. No rules here. Just use your breath, feel it out, pause where you feel any little sticky spots. And when you're ready, we'll come back to a nice tall seated position. Starting here, we're going to take the left hand, bring it to the right knee, and then the right hand behind us for a twist. Exhale over to the right. Inhale through center. Let's bring that over to the left on an exhale. Inhale back through center. Exhale right. Inhale front, twist it out to the left. Inhale front. Exhale, looking over the right shoulder. And then back to the left. Exhale right. And then let's return back to center. From here, we're going to take just a couple of side body leans, still warming up the torso. Place the right hand down beside you, outside of the right hip. Lift the left arm up and over as we side body lean towards the right. Maybe rotate the chest, lift the gaze up to the sky. Keep that left hip connected to the mat so you feel a good stretch from fingertips, reaching those fingertips to the back of the room, all the way to the hip. From here, let's inhale up to our neutral position, coming through, and then we'll lean over to the opposite side, right arm going above, keeping the right hip connected to the earth, reaching through those right fingertips, stretching it out. Let's inhale through center. Let's go a little more quickly. Exhale to the right. Inhale up. Exhale left. Inhale up. Exhale right. Inhale up, exhale left, inhale up. One more on each side. Over to the right, coming through center, and then one more to the left. Come back through center. Take a pause. Inhale. Exhale it out, release. Very good. From here, we're going to come onto all fours into a tabletop. So check your alignment. Knees should be underneath the hips, and then the shoulders should be directly over the wrists. Neutral spine, drawing the belly button in. We're going to come into a balancing table pose. Let's start by extending that left foot, keeping the foot flexed so you're pushing through that left heel, really feeling an extension through that left side. And then slowly take the right arm out in front. So this beautiful line from the right fingertips all the way to the left heel, feeling strong. On an inhale, keeping our core strong. Let's extend the left foot out to the side. It doesn't need to be very far. And the right arm comes out to the side. Inhale, draw it back to center line. Keep the core engaged. And then let's exhale, open it up. How far can you go? Keep the balance, press firmly into the mat with the left hand. Bring it back to center. One more, opening it up. And then bring it back to center. Yes, we are going to engage the core some today. From here, let's set the left hand and the right hand and the left leg down. Push the hips back. We're going to come into a child's pose. From your child's pose, let's walk the hands over towards the left. We're going to take a nice diagonal stretch here. As you reach the arms, really reach them towards the left. Let's take that right hip, shift it so it's coming even further to the right, maybe coming off of that right heel. Really exaggerating the stretch. You should feel it underneath the right armpit, on the outside of those right ribs, and breathe. When you're ready, let's walk it back to center, and then we're going to push back up into a tabletop, and then push back into a downward facing dog. Wonderful. From downward facing dog, just take a moment, maybe walk the feet out. Never hurts to take a moment just to stretch into the back of the legs in our downward facing dog. Take an inhale. Exhale it out. Maybe come high up on the tippy toes. Lower the heels back down. Just do that 2 more times. Coming up on the tippy toes in downward dog. Lower back down. Once more, up on the tippy toes. And then come back down. From here, let's inhale that left leg up to the sky for a 3-legged dog. And then exhale, draw it through in between the hands. Keep that right leg lifted, and we'll rise up to our high lunge on the left side. In our high lunge, the arms are alongside the ears, and we're staying strong through that back leg. Take an inhale. And then exhale, twist. Twisting to the left. Maybe finding that focal point or your drishti so that we keep our balance. From here, take the arms to heart center in prayer. As we come into heart center, we're going to take a lean with the torso, maintaining our balance, and the right elbow comes to the outside of that left knee. We're lifted in a lunge twist. Very good. Inhale. Exhale. Can you slowly lower the back knee down to the mat? The back toes can stay tucked, or you can let them go flat against the floor. From here, let's just open up those arms, taking a big, big stretch and a nice, lovely twist. Gazing up to the sky, really feel that right upper arm pressing into the outside of the left knee. And when you're ready, we're going to lift up, staying in a twist, but now our torso is lifted. So in this lunge, let's just take a moment to take a nice inhale. Exhale, feel the shoulders relax down the back. And when you're ready, you can keep the toes tucked or flat on the floor. If they're tucked, it'll be a little bit easier if you want to actually try to reach your heel. But we're going to lift the right arm up and over for a nice lean in this beautiful camel variation. It is a balance challenge, and you don't have to come all the way back to the heel. Even a slight lean is perfect. And when you're ready, we'll windmill the arms. Take the right hand to the outside of that left foot. Bring the left hand down. Start to walk that left foot over for our lizard position. And now I would like you to untuck the toes. Go ahead and take a moment in your lizard. Maybe wiggle the hips back and forth. Make any adjustments you need to on the back knee if you need padding. Whatever works for you here. And we're going to take a couple of active hip movements in this lizard pose. So feel free to try it out with me. It could be quite a challenge. So we're going to take that left foot, lift it up, step it back at a diagonal, bring it across the right foot. And we're going to just stretch. Let the arms go long as you push back in this really long diagonal stretch. And then on an inhale, we're going to step that left foot all the way back up to the left hand. If you need to help walk it in, by all means do so. We'll do that 2 more times. Lift the left foot, step it back, cross it over the right, push all the way back into this modified child's pose. And then let's bring it all the way up to the left hand, keeping it off the mat as long as you can into our lizard. 1 more time. Lift that left foot up, step it back, push back into our beautiful extended child's pose. And then last time, we bring that left foot up, really work that left hip, and come back into your lizard. Once we're in lizard, let's go ahead and lower down into our forearms. Just deepening into those hips. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale it out. Once more, relax. Exhale it out. Beautiful. Make sure we're not holding in any areas. Our face is relaxed. Come up onto your hands once more. This time we'll come onto the outside, that knife edge of the left foot, for a little twist in our lizard. Hand can come to the inside of the left thigh. Just a gentle press. And you'll feel a more deepening into that hip, the inside of the left hip. Maybe the gaze comes up to the sky. Lovely. When you're ready, come back into that lizard position with the hands down on the mat. And we're going to shift the hips back just a little bit so we can give ourselves some room to walk that left foot back about 12 inches or so. And I just move my blanket out of the way so that it would be stable on the mat. I'm spinning those left toes out so that they're actually facing the left side of the mat here. And then from this point, I want you to keep the right hand rooted into the mat. We're going to push down, turn onto the outside edge of the right foot, and come into a twisted Vashisthasana or side plank. Lift the left arm up to the sky, fingertips reaching. Keep the hips lifted. And your left knee should be at about a 90-degree angle for this twist. Really push into the mat with that right side body. Inhale. On an exhale, we're going to lower the hip towards the mat until it fully rests onto the mat. Point the right toes. Keep the left arm extended out for this revolved skandasana. Wonderful stretch into the outside of that IT band. And then from here, we're actually just going to move our body so that we're facing the back of the mat. The left foot stays on the outside of the right leg. So we're all set up for one more twist. Let's inhale the left arm up to the sky. Bring the right hand back behind you and take the left elbow to the outside of that left leg. From here, exhale, twist it, looking to the front of the mat. Gazing past the right shoulder. On an inhale, you can just release slightly, and we'll exhale. Maybe deepen that twist a little bit further with any space that we've made with our breath. Inhale, slightly release. One more time, twist. Push that elbow against the left knee. And then from here, we're going to release. Unwind our torso. Keep the cross of the legs, and you can go ahead and get set up. We're going to take a little bit of a lifted twist, a little challenge. So take the peace fingers of the left hand, take them to the left big toe. From here, start with the right fingertips on the ground to give yourself a little bit of a balance. And then exhale, extend that left leg long. Gaze can stay in front. Or if you want a challenge, lift the right arm, bring the gaze to the front of the mat. So stay strong in the torso, nice and tall, keeping the back straight. And then on an exhale, let's release it. You can separate the legs, draw the feet in so that the feet are flat on the floor. We're going to take a revolved boat pose. So let's start with just a half boat with the knees bent. Hands can stay on the ground. Hands can come to heart center. If you're ready, you can take the twist. Hands at heart center. Maybe bring the left elbow to the outside of the right leg. Maybe gaze comes behind you. Whatever you do, I just suggest play around, whether you fall or whether you stay in the pose. It is a challenge. And then release the legs down. Feet come to the mat. From here, we're going to bend the left knee. Take it to the bottom and then bend the right knee. Have that crossover on top for our Gomukhasana legs on this side. We can start nice and tall, staying right here if that's what works for you. Or keep the hips planted onto the earth and then start to walk the torso forward as we drape over the legs. Give ourselves a nice little stretch into the hips. Opening up into our sacral chakra. Really working and igniting those fires of the solar plexus. Maybe you feel some heat kind of building within you already, and that's good. Wonderful. When you're ready, let's lift up to a seated position. We're going to take the hands, walk them over to your right, and then just unwind the legs. Keep walking the hands until they come to the front of the mat. And we're going to unwind ourselves until we come back into a tabletop position. I'm going to take a quick second and put my padding down for my knee. Always use care for yourself. And let's check our alignment so that our hips are over our knees and our shoulders are over our wrists. Coming back into our balancing table position on the opposite side. This time, let's extend the right leg out. Kick that heel out like you're trying to punch a hole in the back wall, and then extend the left arm. out alongside the left ear. Long from your fingertips to the heel. And then let's go ahead, take a nice inhale. Exhale. Can you move that right leg out to the side as you bring the left leg out to the side? It doesn't need to be very far. Just stay strong in the core. Bring it back to center on an inhale. Exhale. Move it out like you're swimming through very, very thick water. Inhale. Bring it back to midline. Exhale. Bring it out to the side. Awesome. Back to midline. And then from here, we'll bring it all in, back to our tabletop. Shift the hips back into child's pose. From here, walking your hands over towards the right side. And then really reach. As you do so, start to shift that left hip, maybe bringing it off to the side of the left heel so you can really, really exaggerate that stretch into the left side. And when you're ready on an inhale, we'll walk the hands back to center, press back up to tabletop. From tabletop, we'll tuck our toes and come back into downward facing dog. Take a moment in our downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale it out. Feel the shoulders spread wide. Inhale. Exhale it out once more. On the next inhale, let's lift that right foot up into the sky. And then exhale, we'll draw it in between the hands. Lifting the torso up, lifting the arms up for a high lunge on the right side. Wonderful. Inhale. Exhale, twist it out, looking to the right, keeping the torso tall, really pushing back through that left heel to engage the left leg. And then maybe draw the hands to heart center. From here, we start to lean the torso towards the front of the mat. Bring the left elbow to the outside of the right knee for a twist. Twisting in our high lunge. Inhale. Exhale it out. From here, can you slowly lower that left knee to the earth? Keep the toes tucked or untucked wherever you're at. We're going to open up the arms for a low lunge twist. Maybe the gaze comes up to the sky. Maybe not. It is a bit of a balance trying to do these twists in these revolve positions. So don't worry if you fall out of it. On the next inhale, we'll come up, lifting up in this beautiful low lunge twist. Don't worry, I'm not looking at you, but I know that you're following along. On the next inhale, let's flip the left palm, and then we're going to reach back. Reach the left hand back as we lower the right arm back, maybe touching the right or the left heel, but staying in our balance, firmly gluing the foot to the floor, and then windmill the arms. Bring the left hand down, followed by the right hand. Start to move that right foot over so that we're in lizard. Getting used to our lizard pose here. We'll take a moment just to breathe it out. You can wiggle and rock back and forth, just opening up the hip. And we will move into those lizard lunge shifts starting here in a moment. One more inhale. And exhale it out when you're ready. We're going to step that right foot back, cross it over the left, and then push the hips back like we're making a really, really extended child's pose. And then draw that right knee up. Bring it to the outside of the right hand. Push into the hip. Let's do that 2 more times. Stepping it back. Extend and stretch. Lifting it up. Can you keep that right foot off of the mat until you plant it next to the right hand. We'll keep trying. One more time, shift it back, coming into that extended child's pose, reaching at a diagonal. And then this last time, we'll make it a good one. Bring the right foot up and to the outside of the right hand, back into lizard. Now in your lizard, you can stay up high. On the hands, you can lower down onto forearms. We're going to take a moment to deepen into the hip. If you were lowered down onto your forearms, let's push ourselves back up onto our hands, and then we're going to roll onto the outer edge of that right foot. You can adjust, maybe bring it back a little bit. Remember, making small movements to adjust for your body are perfectly normal. We don't always just fall into alignment. All of our measurements are quite different between torso, legs, and arms. We don't all have the same range. In this twist, we're on the outside of that right foot, pressing slightly onto the right inner thigh. If you want to give yourself a little bit more into that twist. And then when you're ready, let's bring the hands back down. We're going to shift back onto that left knee a little bit, just to give us a little room as we step the right foot back to, let's say, about the middle of the mat, just so it's just about another foot behind where it originally was. And the right toes are going to face the right side of the mat. From here, we're going to spin onto the outside edge of that left foot, like we're coming into a side plank, but we're in our side plank twist. So check that right knee. It should be at about a 90-degree angle. Lift the right hand up to the sky, really stretch it out, and lift those hips. Feel the hips engage. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to lower the hips to the earth into our revolved skandasana. Wonderful stretch into the outside of that left hip. Keep the right arm long. The neck is long. And then when you're ready, we're going to rotate so that we face the back of our mat. Keep the right foot twisted to the outside of the left leg. And we're going to take our twist. This time the left hand comes behind, the right arm comes up into the sky, and we're going to take an open twist to the left. Looking past that left shoulder. Inhale, release slightly. Exhale, let's maybe deepen the twist, even if it's just a millimeter. Pressing into that knee with the right elbow. Inhale, open, and then exhale, twisting and deepening, drawing the core in, sitting up tall. On the next inhale, we're going to release the twist with our torso. From here, keep that right leg crossed over the left. We'll take the left piece, or actually the right piece fingers, and then take them to the right toe. From here, the left arm can come behind you for stability, and then let's extend that right leg out. Still stay nice and tall so that you're not curving into the back. You can stay looking in front. If you want to take a little balance, well, maybe gaze to the front of the room. And then lower it down. From here, let's untwist the legs. Bring the feet both flat onto the floor. I'm going to move my cushion so I can feel better balanced onto my mat. Sitting on our mat, we'll start again in that half boat pose. So let's draw the knees up so that they're at a 90-degree angle. You can keep your hands holding your legs if that feels good, or hands to heart center, or hands out in front of you. Take a deep breath. On an exhale, we'll all try to have hands at heart center, and we'll take a twist. Twisting to the left, right elbow outside of the left knee. Inhale. Exhale it out. And then let's release the legs to the ground. Lift up tall with the spine. Maybe draw yourself in towards the thighs for a little stretch, helping with that core. And then from here, I'm going to take the right knee on the bottom for our cow face legs on this side. We can't forget. And then draw the left knee on top. I think I messed that up. I think we did this side already. So the left knee should go on the bottom. I apologize. Left knee on the bottom, right knee on top. When you're ready, we can start to fold forward. Have the torso go over the legs. Feeling good here? And then just relax into it. Feel the hips heavy. Try to keep them connected with the mat. So even if it's not a full connection, which can be very difficult as the weight of the torso starts to move forward, just feel that intention of the hips being heavy and want that drawing down of this back side of the body just as much as we're leaning forward. Get a wonderful stretch along the low back, and especially into those hips. Relax the face, the throat, and the jaw. That can also be a big help as we're trying to break those cycles of indigestion and bloating. When you're ready, let's rise up. And from here, we're going to spin ourselves around. Come into tabletop, but just shortly enough so that we can spin our legs out from underneath us. And then we're going to come to a position onto our backs, setting up for reclined twist. So in your reclined twist, let's go ahead and lift the hips just slightly, place them over about an inch or two to the right, and then drop the knees to the left. So the spine, even though it's twisted, should feel like it's a straight line still from the head down to the tailbone. Open the right arm out to a T or maybe to a cactus shape. And then the head certainly can stay in neutral, but if you like to take your gaze to the right, you can look at your right hand. Take a deep breath. Exhale, release. Inhale it. Exhale out. Once more. Exhale out. Returning back through center. Finding your neutral alignment before we just roll on over to the opposite side. So spine should be straight from top to tail. But this time we're going to shift. Bring the hips over to the left about 1 inch, and then allow the knees to drop over towards the right side of the mat. Bring the left arm to cactus or maybe to a T shape. Right hand can rest on the outside of that left thigh to provide a little bit of leverage and to feel the legs glued down to the right side of the mat. Breathe deeply in your twists. Feel it travel all the way from the belly up through the ribs, filling out the chest, and then exhale. Everything empties until you can't exhale anymore, and then fill it up again from bottom to top. Belly, ribs, chest. Exhale it out. And then when you're ready, we're going to just shift over onto our backs, moving the hips so they come back into alignment. You can certainly keep the knees bent, or if you would like, you can extend the legs long, and we'll close out our practice in Shavasana. Today in our Shavasana, just let the legs be nice and relaxed. Take the right hand to the low belly. The left hand can come to heart center, and we'll just take a few breaths. Notice the warmth we've created into our belly, in the pelvic region, and the solar plexus. Notice the softness that we have within our jaw, our tongue, throat, and chest, leading down to our bellies. Envision the smoothing out of the inside, the surfaces relaxed. Gentle breathing as we just start to return ourselves back to our normal breath. Softly starting to wake ourselves back up. Maybe rolling the ankles. Maybe start to draw the fingers in, make gentle fists. And then one at a time, start to draw the knees in towards the chest. I want you just to wrap your arms around the front of the shins. Give yourself a great big squeeze, maybe enough to draw your head, neck, and shoulders up. And then release it down. Once more, squeeze, drawing those knees in, and then release it down. From here, we can roll onto our side and make our way up to a seated position. Coming once more to the center of our mat, crossing our legs. Take an inhale, lift the arms up, reach them towards the ceiling, feel the fingertips grow long, and then allow the palms to kiss as you draw them down through heart center to close your practice. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you really enjoyed and got some benefit out of that practice, and you can really feel some fire going on through your midsection and just overall feel more comfortable in your body, because that is the practice of every single practice on this, or that is the goal of every single practice on this channel. If you like this, please leave a comment below. Hit that subscribe button so you get notifications for a new practice every single Sunday. Enjoy your week. Make it a good one. Bye.